handle. George must have moved it. Katie looked up from her breakfast and caught my eye briefly, while Teddy continued to suck on orange slices. "Who's George?" Katie asked. "David, Dad." Mom corrected herself, but she spoke carefully, as if she was afraid of making the same mistake again. She turned to me. "And exactly why were you in my room, Alexandra?" "I was looking for my striped shirt," I said, not blinking. "I thought it got mixed up in your laundry." Katie was suddenly fascinated by her breakfast. She knew my shirt was on our bedroom floor after I had tried it on and flung it off in disgust, but she also knew better than to say so. Now that Katie was in middle school, we had an understanding. She kept my secrets, so I would do the same when she got some worth keeping. Mom stared at me for a moment before shutting off the water. I expected more of a fight. Sneaking cash from her purse wasn't a regular thing for me, but I knew she had noticed some missing before and suspected me. Katie hoarded her money, so I couldn't ask her, and Teddy couldn't keep his mouth shut. "Driver's ed today?" When I told her yes, she asked, "Have you practiced at all? Dad hasn't taken you in a week." Whenever my dad asked if I wanted to go for a drive, I said I was busy or tired or made some sarcastic comment that would keep him from wanting to spend time with me in an enclosed space. But the real problem was that controlling a huge, whirring hunk of metal terrified me. My heart raced, and I couldn't breathe, and I forgot everything I was supposed to do. Cars hadn't always scared me. It wasn't like I cringed whenever anyone drove above the speed limit. I'd never been in an accident, not a real one, anyway. But something happened when I was forced to get behind the wheel. There were too many parts, all hidden under the hood, and any piece could come off or spark. The brakes, the gas, the wheel, the mirrors. How could I be expected to pay attention to so many things at once? It went too fast. Anything could happen. So, I avoided being behind the wheel as much as possible. "Who cares if I don't practice? I'm going to be, like, the worst one anyway." "That's because you don't practice," Mom said. "It takes time, and it would be a big help for me if you could drive your sister to gymnastics." "Oh, yes, please, let me cart around my little sister. That's exactly how I want to spend my afternoons." At the table, Katie insisted that she didn't want to ride with me, either. It wasn't the first time Mom had tried to convince me to drive. She and Dad had even offered to pay for a cell phone if I got my license, in case I broke down while I was on the road. By now, I was the only person I knew who didn't have a cell, so that had almost gotten me. But then I'd remembered the feeling of being behind the wheel and claimed I didn't want one. I devoured my toast at the counter and brushed crumbs into the sink. "See you later," I said, grabbing my backpack. "Hey, where are you going?" Mom said. "School," I said. "They make you go every day." "You've got 10 minutes before the bus, and you haven't made your lunch yet." I lingered by the door. "I'll buy it. And I was going to walk." Mom's eyebrows knit together. "You'll never make it in time if you walk." "Sure I will," I said. "Only if you cut through the woods," Katie muttered, probably deciding that if she had to ride the bus, then so did I. "Oh no," my mother said as she arranged slices of bread for sandwiches. "You want to walk? That's fine, but you have to stay on the street where people can see you." I gave her a look like I didn't know how she functioned in the world. What's going to happen? I'll get attacked by a squirrel? Teddy snorted a laugh. "Maybe Alex will get rabies and she'll get all crazy and foamy." Sticking out his lower lip, he made slurping noises. Mom ignored Teddy, even as Katie threw her napkin at him and told him to stop. "Remember that man a few years ago?" Mom said. "The one who tried to grab that boy?" "Yeah, I'm desperate to get raped and murdered," I said, slinging my backpack over my shoulder. "Can I go now? I'm going to be late."